I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin'. Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
Because I don't get started, but
So we good? Everybody.
I'm seeing everybody ready. I said shit. Let me just in case I need to get readier.
Ashtray.
If I need to get readier.
Move this big ass bottle on my face.
Readier.
We keeping that too.
K over there. I thought you was my folk. I thought you was my kinfolk. What the fuck?
Love you.
Love you.
So keep that shit too.
This is Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rook. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Get your fucking life together. And I got Saf with me.
Yo, I'm in the building.
And we got my man Uptown Tone and his bitch.
What's up, gang? How y'all doing, man? Glad to be here.
Glad to have you, Tone. Glad to have you, man. I was explaining to Saf earlier. Met you through good folks years ago.
Fakes.
You know what
Facts.
I mean? Great folks who I still got a lot of love for, who actually give me a lot of direction in a lot of shit that we got going on right now. But ever since then, you moved out the city.
Yep.
Went to the other side of the country.
Yep.
Came back. But the whole time, I've been keeping up with you online, and we agree, disagree, or agree that there's a way to disagree.
That's a fact.
In common a lot.
Because we don't agree on much. We don't agree on much, but it's a respect factor. Like he was saying off air, when somebody tell you where they coming from with it, that's all that matter. Oh, I can see how you arrived there. I didn't take that way. We both met at South Street. I took the expressway. You took Broad Street, but we both met. We met here. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's safe as long as it's safe.
That's it.
It's safe.
That's
you ain't
it.
hurting nobody. It's cool. But that's why I'm glad to have him here today, because I know when it come to conversating and come to potting, that's what this guy do. So
Absolutely.
That's all I was gonna say.
It was something that already just resonated. I think what's interesting is that as men, you both can see that whatever the differences are, the agreements or the disagreements is, that you're able to see them and move forward. I think that it's a big I don't want to say problem, but I just think that there's something that can be different. It is a problem. I think that people need to be more open-minded and more able to receive differences in opinions.
that's a fact.
So I want to acknowledge the fact that you both open with that and acknowledge that. One of my favorite sayings is knowing is half the battle, right? So even just knowing that, I think that is something that just needed to be acknowledged and highlighted and spoken to. So
That's a fact.
My
shout out to y'all
opinion
for
is,
that.
though, that's part of being a man. And niggas ain't perfect. I got a temper. I'm sure he got a temper. We've never shown each other that side.
Right.
But like, I know how Tone is. You know what I mean? You can't be that cool all the time.
Yeah.
But
that part.
no, real rap, because he's a cool guy. Like, he's always really even killed most of the time when I see him. So like, but you can't be a man and not acknowledge the fact that, one, you don't know everything. Two, you gotta live and let live at some point. You know what I mean? And three, building only comes from some kind of friction. Like, you don't get anywhere higher by everybody saying the same thing.
Right.
That's a plateau.
I use this analogy because it was a very popular show, Game of Thrones, and because it's real simple. Like, it's before technology takes over and things and philosophies
Very
take
basic.
over. And I say that I forgot what season. I think it was season 2, right after they had killed Ned Stark or whatever. If you don't know these names, just go do your research. You'll understand the point I'm trying to make. But Ned Stark had the biggest sword in the whole. You know what I mean? And when the boy Tywin took it, he was forging the sword. When I look at him forge the sword, back then sword is the major weapon you could have. Very dangerous, very sharp. And I liken that to a saying, "Steel sharpens steel."
I was just thinking that.
Dog, like, dude, if you can see the process, it's loud. He's banging. It's fiery. It is not a seamless process to turn metal into a forgeable weapon. So when you have these arguments, when you have these conversations, when you have these debates, and somebody's coming from here, somebody's coming from here, my only goal is just to meet here with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't gotta pull you to my side.
Don't have to. But this is where we have to operate.
Absolutely.
We have to operate here. Because we gotta operate.
Right.
I don't need you to pull. I need to pull you over here. You need to pull me over here. We just gotta find out where this is at. And then that way we can go here. Progress, like he said, it's all progress.
And I think that what I was going to say is, to your first point, and I think it's also validated with what you said, is I think it's what I was going to say is it's not based on a gender role. I think that's about being human too. Absolutely. So I think that also culminates within that. So I think that you were saying about being a man. I think women, just as adults, I think that that's how we need to handle things. We need to figure out how we can best work and best serve each other.
That plays into accountability too.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to mention that the fact that you said steel sharp as steel still was something that we just spoke about last night, less than 24 hours ago. Yeah. He and I just had that conversation. So the fact that was reinforced in less than a day makes me think that we always be on the right path.
Yeah, it's that energy. It's energy, man. That's all it really is energy. And when you got that like energy, or you got a respectable energy, then moving and navigating through this world is a lot more. It's easier, man. You know what I mean? Nothing is really easy. I'll say it's effortless.
Right.
Nothing's easy. You have to put some work into everything, but it's seamless. It's effortless. It's just how much of that energy you gotta, put towards anything. So, I mean, that's just where I be at with it, man.
One of the advice that I give people all the time when it comes to pod and or any kind of media to where it becomes conversational, or you may have debates on it. It's not your job to win on your platform. Your job at that point, or whatever point makes sense, is to get your point across about your side of it. You let that person get their point across, and you let the audience figure out how they play it.
Yep.
It's not your job to have people on your platform and beat them.
Right.
In conversation.
I actually think that compromises the platform.
I think
that turns your platform into, this guy's a know-it-all. He's the arguer.
I was about to say
it
that.
Turns you into a Rush Limbaugh. It turns you into, you know what I mean, people of that nature who was like, they only here to get their narrative off and use you as use you at the expense.
Right.
And
there's some shit that they only learned 10 minutes of 15 hours ago and really ain't explored. Like, they just want to get something off.
Right.
My bad, go ahead.
No, it's. I just think that's what it is, man. Shout out to my guy Zay1926, man. He's trying to start a podcast. Real respected guy, Uptown, in the music, in the streets, and he's had these little things where people having these friendly battles, and all the time it's like, because they know him personally, they be trying to get him to sway to a side, but he won't. And I talked to him off the pod. I'm like, yo, that's dope. I like the way you stand your ground. He like, no, I can't do that, right? Because your platform will be compromised.
Where is your bond?
If you start taking sides.
Absolutely.
So he has the audience. He tapped the audience in. Y'all decide. Tell me what you think. You don't gotta make me sway this way. Just tap in and tell the people what you think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. Because we need more institutions where we can get our thoughts and stuff out and they're protected.
Absolutely.
And so we can't have people playing payola. We can't have people playing sides.
Right.
Because it damages the integrity of the platform. So I'm in agreement with you 100% on that.
So you know what? So I was going to say that brings me to the fact that we have, shout out to us having our platforms and our own platforms, having our own voices and being able to have our own perspectives, right? So exactly, that's what I was going to say. Salute you to that. Salute you, bro, for that. We all three of us have that in common, and I think that it's something that we're charged with as a responsibility to make sure that we convey the messages that that we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to forge and not to let anybody sway our decisions or our opinions. That we make sure that we maintain that. So,
and it's your job to grow. You don't want to look back year after year after year you doing something and it looks the exact same way.
Facts.
You don't want to have the same mindset. You know what I mean? Like, it's your job to grow. You don't want to become a caricature of yourself, like Charlemagne says all the time. Like, it becomes a time where sometimes you lean into what you think the people want, and that's cool to a certain extent, but you have to have barriers because you have to grow. If that's what they used to, then sometimes they gotta evolve with you. And that takes humbling yourself on these platforms and really paying attention to what you do, watching your own game tape,
right?
Watching other people that do it at a higher level, figure out how to play your part within it. It's never to mimic, but it's always a better way. There's always a more consistent way. The way is the way for a reason,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, out of all the search drives, Google is the first one you think of for a reason. They're doing something right.
Right. I used to fight Google. Like, I used to fight it because because I was familiar with Yahoo before I was familiar with Google, right?
You asked G's.
No, I wasn't ask G's. I wasn't ask G's. But because I'm just I'm a loyal person. So whatever I was with, like, I didn't want to see what like the competitor. I didn't want to go to it. Like, when they said they were shutting down Yahoo, I made sure I used Yahoo like 15 times a day. Like, no, we gonna make sure we keep this joint live, right? But now I do I have a Gmail? Yes. Do I still have my Yahoo? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I still use my Yahoo more than I do my Gmail. But the point of that is that it's about being a loyalist.
But I mean, comfort is a thing too, and consistency in Yahoo is the reason that you comfortable still fucking with them. There is a nod to that, but there's a reason why Google is the first thing you think.
Absolutely.
And a lot of it is marketing, but a lot of it is just accessibility and usefulness. Like,
Yeah, man, the convenience.
it works.
Of it all.
It's already on your phone.
The user interface,
Just
all
like
of that.
when
Absolutely.
people were denying podcasts, but you've had an iPhone for 8 years that had a podcast button on
Never
it.
knew what it was. I remember back when we was running, podcast wasn't popping like that, but we all had iPhones and that joint was right on there. Like podcast.
I keep telling people I used to have an iPhone. I just hate iPhones.
Yeah, he that kind of guy though. Like he,
I hate iPhones
he
too.
gotta go
I ain't gonna lie,
against
but I have an iPhone. I don't even use it. Like I still use my Android.
So this is where not even peer pressure, but just your atmosphere forced the iPhone in my hands because the whole time I was out college, I had an Android. But I knew I was coming back home, and all my contacts are just way easier to get, like way faster because they just buy into that iPhone, Android.
Absolutely.
So I just bit the bullet and got an iPhone just because it once again just thinking and seamless. I'm about seamless work.
Right.
I mean, I already got to put enough energy in, but that just made.
But guess what? I'm still, like I said, I have both, and so now I feel like I'm empowered to still speak about this, and I still stand by Android. I do because there's certain things that as iPhone should be such a better device. There's certain things that you can do with Android that you like schedule messages.
I miss my Android. I'm not gonna hold
24/7. I'm working right. So when I'm thinking about texting somebody at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I can schedule it on my Android. You can't schedule. I heard on iPhones. They told me you can't. So. My whole thing is don't sleep on them Android.
Nah, it's nothing to sleep on. I was editing my whole resume from my Android,
Absolutely.
saving it. Like you can't do that on the iPhone without having.
I'm glad you told me because I was trying to do that on the iPhone.
Yeah, it's extra apps. It's ways you got to go about it, but on the Android, it's there.
No,
it's already
right
Word
there.
is already on your phone, like it is on your.
I use Excel. I do all of that on my phone.
Exactly.
Now, hold on real quick.
All right,
Because we letting a lot of big brands fly.
My bad.
No. Tell the people about your platform.
That's what I was about to. That's what I was about to get to.
Because we giving them, they get theirs. Let's talk about
That's
what
actually
you
what I
got
was about
going
to
on
get to.
first.
My
before we
man,
get
my
back
man.
to them. Yeah.
Uptown Tone, Uptown Zone. Y'all already know me with the music. The music is still popping. You check my SoundCloud and all
Dope
that.
artist.
Yeah, but if you have been paying attention to my story in the last couple of years, you've seen that I've taken on this podding thing in a real major way.
Heavy.
Yeah, I just started the Uptown Worldwide LLC, my multimedia company. So that's going to allow me to do. Thank you. That's going to allow me to do my music too. That's why I made it multimedia instead of just individual. But I really fuck with the content, and I feel like I did rap because I always wanted to just get what was in my head out. You know what I mean? And as I look and I see how content is anything from a tweet.
Absolutely.
I know y'all heard about this NFT shit. We'll get into that later on.
The first tweet ever just went for some.
You see what I'm saying? I had a tweet one time. It was like the black male tweet, and it was like, "What do black men say to each other when they greet each other?" And I just said, "You know what I mean? I ain't got no complaints. God got it. I could take care of the rest." And it went crazy. Like I had like 26,000 tweets. If I could have NFT'd that back then, that could have made me a nice chunk of change. You know what I mean?
And you just explained NFT kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. But just to get back to what I was saying, I've taken on this podcasting thing, and I really like it because I can get my ideas out there, my thoughts out there, my words out there, and don't have to worry about rhyming them every 4 bars.
Right.
That's funny.
Making
hooks.
I
do both too.
Right.
So I
right.
Get it.
He know what I'm talking about.
Funny.
Absolutely.
He know what I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure that's why he feel it too because he can just let it flow. Right. Whatever he go in the booth and try to think and make it witty, we can just give it to you.
And this is still a rhythm. It's still a rhythm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I got the 444 podcast. It's a Philly sports podcast. I have different guests on every week. I'm about to drop the video for that tonight. It's going to premiere sometime between 8 and 10. It's still loading and uploading because, like I said, I'm doing everything from my phone. But before I came in here, I loaded it up to YouTube. So it's processing right now. So when I go back, I'll look at it. Whatever. Okay. But that's going to be out 444. My man Dan Palmels from NBC Sports is on there this week. So holla at him. Okay. I also have the Uptown Tone Presents COVID Chronicles, the one that I was telling y'all about off air, which started as a COVID podcast, but kind of moved into a current events, popular culture. Me and my guys, shout out to them, Born Fresh, OGEs, and my guy Press Coast, my 2 best friends in the world. We have a group text, or just a text with us.
Names.
Yeah,
y'all got great names.
So we got a group text that we're in daily, where we just let our thoughts fly. And Press was actually still over in California when we started it, and he was coming back home, but he's actually back home now in Philadelphia full time. So COVID Chronicles has went from the kind of like the COVID podcast to the current events podcast, and it's kind of evolving to how we talk and what we do in our group text. And I kind of really like that aspect of it. Like we were talking before, you know what I mean? Current events kind of date your stuff, and so we just finding new ways to do things. And then the last one I just picked up, I just did with my cousin, who's the morning show host on WGCI radio, morning show, Kyle Santillian. Streets is talking, and that one is just the straight whatever is popping on Twitter, whatever's popping on Instagram, whatever's popping in the social media world. We're attacking that from that view. We want to let people know what the streets are saying.
You on the nigga net?
Yeah, we on the nigga net. You got to ratchet it up a little bit. You have to supply all the
diversified.
You got to diversify the portfolio. Man. You got to.
So
no, that's a lot, yo.
Let me ask you a question though, right? Because I want to know, in regards to the group chat, how private is that? Like, could somebody see? Like, how would you feel if somebody read you guys' chat?
I would say,
especially a female.
Well, I am happily involved. I am a step away from marriage, so.
Okay.
But even still, my wife, you know how I give it up and how we give it up, and that's why we have a group text. So I would say some days are better than others. But I would say 85% of the stuff we can let fly, and that's why we are starting to.
I don't think men group chats is as bad.
Exactly, because ours are not as deep. Ours are not as, and that's why I said some days better than others.
I'm sure it's a whole lot more nudity in female group chats.
But ours are more toxic because they're not as specific. Y'all's are as specific, whereas I can see y'all talking about a certain person or people or get real specific. Whether you should be doing that, whether it's safe or whether it's right to do that is up for debate. We, even if you see us in conversation, we are real blanketed in general.
Right.
So we'll give real specific scenarios, but put that shit over a whole group of people. You know what I mean?
And I wasn't even thinking like that. For me, I was actually thinking of maybe from a perspective of vulnerability. So that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how vulnerable are you to your friends, and or how open are you to your friends, and how would you mind if not your woman, just a person, just anybody.
And I was thinking, was the woman neutral or not?
Yeah. Right. So I wasn't thinking like your lady. That's not. I was just thinking like about maybe your personal vulnerability and openness to your friends and to other people.
I think ours is cool and it's safe, or maybe safer than most, because you can hear the aspect of us trying to figure it out. We don't ever try to speak for women. We don't ever try to give the opinion of women. It's always a ponder with us. I wonder what they thinking. Maybe it's this or maybe it's that. And almost like you said, it comes from not even, she's doing this because she's a woman, but how would I feel if I was a human and I was put in that predicament? It's like the position that women are put in is the position more often than men. It's not that it's a woman's position, right? Like you said, it's not really. We're all humans. It's just that the way that this world works and the mechanics of it, how it goes, women keep getting put in this particular position time and time again. It's not really that. That's what they try to make it seem like. The optics to tell you that it's like that because it's a woman. No, it's like that because this place keeps putting the woman there. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And our conversation is more so that than it is buying into that's the woman's place.
Buying into the standard.
I got a question.
If that makes sense. I know.
Absolutely. No. It makes perfect sense.
Because I don't have a text message group chat for real. Well, with y'all I do. But like with the squad, we got a couple joints on the gram. You know what I mean? DM joints. But have you seen the conversation shift in your group chat in the last year or so? Like niggas in my joint is giving out stock information, all type of shit, like at a rapid pace now. Right. Like, and it's funny because, and shout out to the squad, I said, and I always say this, it was years ago when I went down there and I told them, I said, yo, we got a lot of people do a lot of things, everybody doing anything, everybody is doing the right thing. We could put some money together, put our names on something together, and invest in something and let it sit, figure it out, whatever, and we could start small. And we started, shout out to Ray, we started the scholarship fund because I wanted to do something like that first so that you could show we going to just trust each other with our money for a good cause first. You know what I mean? Build that trust first, figure out how to delegate situations amongst that, and then build from there. Yep. Now we're getting to that point where people are talking about more into like stocks and Bitcoin and things like that than property per se. But like the conversation is shifted. Not that we don't still get the dumb shit on. We don't still clown a nigga picture and some shit like that in the joint. But at the same time, it shifted a little bit. It shifted in a way that I prefer because I've been trying to get everybody on the same page. Because one thing I know about homies, we don't all do the same thing. We don't have the same necessarily goals and interests when it comes to investing into the same kind of thing. Right. But if it's 20, 30 of us, and we got some females, you know what I'm saying, that puts us at about 50, then there's pockets that could be worked. And then there's somewhere we can come together like for the scholarship fund.
No, I agree. My group, well, the only one that I'm really, really in, that I'm active in every day, is not a group chat. Like I said, it's more or less just me and my two brothers. I am in other ones, that I chime into, I don't chime into, but I would agree that the conversation has changed. It's a conversation that I like. Right. Because me being the person in my group that's more the trailblazer, the person that's willing to put itself out there, do things like music, do things like podcasts.
Do shit like move across the country.
Do things like move across the country, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like whatever it is that gets people talking about anything besides, oh, I gotta go to work or I gotta, you mean the plan. I despise the plan. I despise high school, college, job, pay bills, buy a house. I despise that.
Right.
Like, spice it up. Like, we only got one of these joints, dog. Like, take a risk.
Talk heavy.
Do something.
Only get one.
Cause we all got it in us, and I'm not saying that because I'm not the guy to say I'm doing the business. I don't know what y'all doing. No, I got a business. You can do it too. Cause I'm the lazy kid in school, class clown, want to be funny. Don't and in my adult years, I'm the write it down, make a plan. We can do this, guys. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's probably because where I was condensed or that area that I was put in school, that wasn't where my talents could flourish.
Right.
Well, I hated half of the subjects I was forced to learn, and
You
nowadays in society, we finding out that I wasn't wrong. That I saw. I'm starting to look right a lot more lately.
I got a 14-year-old right
kid.
now, dog. Got a 14-year-old son right now going through the same thing.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I hated a lot of that. So I was going to act out, but at the same time, she been in school with me my whole life. There was nothing slow about nobody.
Right.
Nothing slow. I used to teach the math class. I used to act out in the history class.
I can see you doing that.
Like real shit. Like niggas had literally scared my math teacher so much that she used to let me teach the class because she was scared to turn her back on the class.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I had to know more than the average motherfucker in the class to be able to hold it down.
That's a fact.
But you had kids screaming words like Satan and stuff like that. Like
I did while
he knew because he knew what it looked like with a bunch of kids screaming that. Not because it just
we was just different. But yeah.
Right.
No, it was wild though because like I remember getting into
Where did y'all go to school?
Ivy Leaf. Down the street from I motherfucking. But listen though, we had a French teacher. He was a white guy and he was gay. Mm-hmm. And neither here nor there, but as a young black male, my name is my name,
Jimmy,
and you don't get to change my name. And he insisted on calling me Jimmy, and I'm raised respectful. I can't OD. I'm not gonna grind you up like I know I can. You see what I'm saying? So he asked me to read something one day in French class, and I read it, and I read the name. When I got to the end of the sentence, I read the nigga name in English. He said, I know you see that it says such and such. Why didn't you just... I said, I know you see what my name's saying in your book, too. He ran and told my mom, because my mom worked at the school. Right. Snapping, and he's disrespecting me, and and he won't, and he just doesn't want to listen. And she said, well, why are you calling him anything outside of his name? Right. I didn't even ask to be called by a nickname. This the name she gave me, and you thought you had the right to tell her that I was acting out because you wouldn't call me that.
Simple.
Do you understand that as a young man, I was very aware of what these situations was and what you wasn't able to do to me? So I checked out a lot of classes.
Yeah, I know.
But I had to pass.
The crazy part about me, and I was just thinking about this, my mom used to send me out to all of these schools in the Northeast and shit. Cause I'm an Uptown kid, so she didn't send me to Pennypacker. She ain't send me to. She didn't want me to go to King. She didn't want me to go to Leeds.
Right.
She always tried to find a different school, so I ended up going to all of these schools out the Northeast, and it was a real culture shock for me because I would be like the only black kid or one of the few black kids out there. And back then I couldn't put my finger on it, and it's kind of funny because it's probably why I carry it the way I carry it now. How I am so extra black, how I am so, you know what I mean? But
bro, you be as black as you want to be, baby.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
I think it happens. It's either one way or the other.
But you know what I mean? Like, no, you carry it how you carry it for a reason.
For a reason. And it's not to put anybody else down, but it's to lift us up because I feel like ad nauseum we've learned everybody else's culture. We know the good, the bad, the ugly. To the point that we revere their culture in a lot of ways. We take it on and add it into our own everyday lives in a couple ways. But then when the question is asked, how much of our culture do they take on, or how much of our culture do they take on that they give credit to us for? Right. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You kind of want to wave that flag. It's levels. You kind of want to wave that flag. You know what I'm saying? So just my upbringing and the things that I've been through. Just listening to y'all in school, and Ivy Leaf is in the hood. It's not one of the hood schools, Shout out to Ivy Leaf too, because I don't believe it's around anymore. But that's bred a lot of good black kids, man.
Absolutely.
Ivy Leaf.
The curriculum, like I said,
Absolutely.
we always talk about. First
Black
of all,
History
it was
Month
a stellar academic curriculum, but like that's what I was about to say. It wasn't Black History Month. We had Black History every day,
and that's what I hear.
We had
Them names
oratorical
and faces on
contests.
the
We
walls
had so
every
many
day
different
in
things
the
and
hallway.
ways to highlight it and learn that. I thought that my kids would be able to go to that school.
Right.
But that was the irony of not understanding why I don't want to know names, dates, and times of shit that y'all lying about in one class when I know so much about what's really going on.
Right.
From what y'all are giving me.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
science and math. The science and math seem to always clash with y'all history shit. Like, but y'all giving me all 3 classes.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, especially when you get into the biologies of it, when it's not just regular science, when it's not just, hey man, take the battery and put the wire on the
Right, but
battery
when
and
you
light the
get-
light up. Once you get to
when you get to the math
biology
part of the
and
science-
chemistry, yeah,
The math
It's
part of the
oh,
science-
that part of the science.
it's like these 2 things start to interlock, but for some reason
that don't say
that
that.
don't say that. Yeah,
That's
so it's
not
like,
what that say. And that shit, I ain't gonna lie, like I don't know how to hide nothing.
Same,
I don't know how to be
same,
phony.
Same.
So I'm sure I was less crafty at that as a child.
What? My mom had
I
to pull
probably
my
was giving
coattail
these
one
teachers
time.
the craziest looks in the world. Like
Look, people look, I understand what you're saying, son, but people generally don't like when you confrontational and kind of calling them stupid. You know what I mean? You got to figure out it.
Right.
My mom had to pull my coattail one time and tell me that when I was young, when I was maybe like 10, 11,
Right.
12. And I'm starting to realize things and pick up things faster than other kids. And like you said, I can't really hide. It's like, you a kid. Now,
you're
know
not
how-
trying to be deceptive.
I'm on a microphone all the time. Now, you know how smooth and slick I am with it now? You know what I'm saying? But as a kid, 10, 11, 12, you probably, as soon as you figure it out, as soon as the light bulb go off, nah. No,
Because they don't have that filter.
Right.
They don't have the filter.
Right.
Bro, and it's crazy because your Northeast experience was my Roman experience. I went to predominantly black schools until I transferred to Roman.
And that's crazy.
And
Just
the
the
game
ages. It
shifted.
don't matter the ages.
The
It don't
game
matter the
shifted.
ages.
You
But
know
I was
what's-
hell in theology class. Oh, I had so many questions. And I wanted to talk about so much shit they ain't want to talk about.
You know what's crazy? I haven't been in an all white environment until like corporate, because I went to Central, so it was so diverse that it was not an all white school.
Yeah, Central
And
was
even though I went to a
blended.
PW, I went to Temple, but Temple was like a black school for me.
It was in North
like,
Philly anyway.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't experience it until I was in the corporate world, where it was kind of like you ain't a baby anyway. So it was like completely different. Like
No, Roman was the corporate world.
probably
to
was.
me.
It's,
Like-
it's directly
It's-
in the corp. It's on the corner
Yo,
of the corporate
it's
world.
so crazy. Like what I learned, like the politics that worked in them hallways,
What?
and the tradition, the alumni.
You can't have a pen in the school.
Yo, listen, man.
What the hell?
That
Right.
Roman shit was different, yo, and it taught me a lot. I learned a lot. I learned how to maneuver on a different level, because at the same time, it was certain. Like I went from an environment when niggas wouldn't let me do shit to an environment when I had to hold back from doing shit. Like if somebody approached me and was talking crazy to me, somebody would jump in front of you and try to knock you the fuck out before I could even get out my seat.
Right.
And I used to hate that because I got to get one, so niggas, you know what I mean?
My name is
So
my
like-
name, like you said earlier.
Till I got my one. Then I leave that school, go to another school where it's like you got to be the nicest nigga in the world in here, bro. Because I'm already going to school dirty every day. I got a bag full of jerseys and Gap leather shit and a book bag with weed in it, and because I tore them hallways up. You see what I'm saying? So I couldn't be the guy that if they piss me off, I couldn't be perceived as a bully, because they gonna run tell that. They going right downstairs and you know what I mean? It's over. So like I had to adjust, and it was weird because it was like, this is the real world, yo.
They don't be knowing. I went to McDevitt.
He can have purple hair. I can't have braids.
One time
Right.
I fell asleep on
That
my I fell asleep on my desk and knocked my book bag over. All the shit fell out the small pocket. I had a car title for a fucking Pontiac 6000 and a celebrity. And my teacher was like, "What you?" I was like, "I don't even got this. Like, what do you like?" It's just we just grow up different. You know what I'm saying? It's just different where we grow up fast.
Absolutely.
Fast.
We grow up fast. And I had mom and dad in the house, but I also had big bro.
Me too.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
I am mom and dad too.
But that don't,
Right.
and that people gotta realize that it's the surrounding. It ain't really the. You mean it's where we.
I
It
ain't
wasn't even
gonna
my
lie,
surrounding.
bro.
I wasn't even surrounded by it, and I still found it. Like,
Bro,
It found you.
I found an early
It's
love.
going to.
I found an early love for paper, and I used to have jobs and 4 different hustles and schemes going when I was 15 years old. Like it was just a thing, and it's like we from Uptown, And Uptown here is kind of like on some Harlem shit, if you really think about it. Like, we are the flashy niggas. We are the arrogant motherfuckers. We're the ones that other motherfuckers dislike because of shit like that.
Right.
Like, we're going to have the section in Fridays and the club.
Fridays.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
wherever the section is to be had,
section
niggas is going right.
We got one, and it looked like what it's supposed to look like because we scheme on a different level. And not that other places don't do their thing, but a lot of, like, we'll do everything. Like, you've done everything, haven't you?
I have.
You've done everything.
I have.
There is no one thing. Like, in other neighborhoods, this nigga do that.
Right.
Half the shit I did, nobody in my neighborhood knew I did.
Right.
Hi. This is Juice from Elevated Entertainment. Is this Font Production?
Hi, this is Kay with Font Production.
I am calling because I like to get some information on getting my business in order.
Okay, let's see what you have already. Do you have an LLC?
I do not.
Cool. Is your name already trademarked?
I think that is something I would like to get trademarked. I didn't even think about that.
Awesome.
I will be, and I do have a few artists that I work with, and I need to make sure that all of their business is taken care of and their music is covered legally.
Okay. Do you have those registered with a pro?
I do not.
What about your songs? Are they copyrighted?
One does, the others don't, but this is the reason why I'm calling, because it's time for me to get all of those things in order, and it seems like you do all of them.
I certainly do.
One-stop shop.
Absolutely. Let's get started.
I love it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I never was nobody that, I don't take shit. I make money.
Right.
You know what I mean? We despised thieves when I was growing up. That was your enemy. You had the police and you had the stick up niggas. So, like,
That part.
I've done everything else. Niggas ain't hip to that, but that was nobody's business either, because at the same time, I was in it for a time, not a long time. This was a flip. This was a way to make money for right now until I figure out something else. As soon as I figured out something else, I led to something else.
Something greater, yeah.
And a lot of the times when I was doing the lowest thing that I ever wanted to do, I helped so many motherfuckers out. You see what I'm saying? That the next transition was easier. Because I could.
Yep.
Now when I ain't nobody even looking at me. They like, yo, you good. What you mean? Like, you good. Like, they don't even know I ain't got. You good.
Right.
And that'll help you, because then you could plateau and go make your next move.
Right.
I think before I do my next thing.
Always.
Sippin' with Sammie wasn't a whim.
Absolutely.
I can see.
Having her as a co-host wasn't a whim.
I can see.
The thing, the big joker, the surprise was when Kay from Font Productions said, well, shit, we could do that tomorrow.
That's what it takes. Shout out to K for that. It takes sometimes the person who don't have it, and this is what we also don't understand in our culture, because we kind of look as the person, the money man, as the everything person, or the money woman as the everything person, and that person has to come up with the funds, come up with the schedule, hire the people, put the people in position, tell the people what to do, tell them when to do it. It becomes exhausting for that one person, and you wonder why they always say a leader or a leader. Like, we don't need a leader, we need a concerted effort. So shout out to K for just being a person to say that I can press play. If that's what you really want to do, we can press play tomorrow at 3. Come through, and that's
it
what
was kind of like that, because
that's what it takes.
We was on FM radio already,
Right.
and we were providing half of the equipment that we were using for that situation.
Because I know you. Come on, man.
We made it visual and all of that.
Come on, man.
So
Stories
it got
be
to the
so
point
similar.
where it's like, you know what?
Right.
If we order one more piece, we can do this wherever we want. And that was my only thing. I wanted to have the traveling pod. I wanted to be able to pull up on you at your bar or your basketball court or your man cave.
That's a dope-ass idea, yeah.
And before COVID, that's what it was. Like, we was going everywhere.
I seen.
You know what I'm saying? And that was my idea. That was the only thing that was holding me back from. I knew I could do it, but I wanted it to be able to travel. And then the other side of it was, my original idea had a plan to it that didn't work for good reasons. Everybody grew and didn't really have time to do that situation anymore. Like, I had a teacher that became a principal. You know what I mean? As a co-host, like, bro, do your thing. Congratulations. And then the cameraman, he out LA all the time filming shit now. Like, he's doing his thing. But I knew that if I did it after that plan, my plan was to have a female co-host. And I was thinking her, and I had a number 2. And I got her on this motherfucker one day, with the second or third episode. She called me the next day like, yo, I like that shit. Yo, we should keep doing that shit. I'm like, nigga, it's your show. It's your show. You the co-host.
Yo.
She was like, you serious? I'm like, it been your show. Ask K.
And big up to y'all, man, because I definitely be seeing fucking Sippin' with Sammie moving. I definitely see him doing his things. Seen you on BET. Seen you. Listen, man, that's work.
Shout out to Del P and Jay.
Yeah, shout out to Del P. That
But
was
people
definitely
don't.
good.
But people don't know. Like when I see that, like even though me and him, we not in contact every day or daily like it was when we was running.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he said, I'm here for a time, not a long time.
Right.
Even when we was doing that, because when we was doing that situation that he speak of was a big, major situation. But I think was just way too many alphas in the room.
Okay.
But if you look at it 10 years, because it's damn near 10 years later, it's probably 7, 8 years later. Look at all the alphas. Nobody quit, and everybody
Right.
big dog and big stepping and everything that they
That's
doing.
what I see. I love that you said that.
That's what I see.
I see
That's
that.
why I'm here.
That's what I see, bro.
That's dope.
That's what I see.
Everybody
bro.
just needed their space to do their fucking thing.
That's dope.
Sippin' with Sammie needed his space to do his shit. I needed my space to do my shit. Smoke needed his space to do his shit.
Right.
And look at niggas now. We could tap in and do whatever with niggas because
Talked to
niggas got.
Smoke last night.
Yeah, I was just with Smoke 2
Almost
weeks ago.
got him in.
He in the area. Y'all in the
He's
same
down the
area.
street,
He's
bro.
down the street.
Down the street.
That's why I was just there.
He down the street.
So this is what I'm saying. All the shit that we butted heads about. No, we do it this way. No, we do it that way. That
That's
we
not
couldn't.
smoke.
No, different smoke.
Okay.
Shit that we couldn't come together, and you realize that you just take a step back, and then you to take 2 steps forward. Like they say, that's exactly what they did.
Right.
We all took 2 steps forward, and
I'ma
now it's
tell
probably
you-
you know what I mean, a time where we coming around again.
I'm gonna tell you the exact conversation I had with him. We sat in the bar and he said, "Bro, I'm about to do this, that, and the third, and I want you here with me." And I said, "Bro, I got you. What you want me to do?" He said, "Everything."
Right.
He said, "You on the board. Whatever we gonna do it." I said, "Bro, I cannot put that much
Right.
into your dream.
Right.
I'm riding. Give me a job." I said,
Right.
"I will take classes to do that job.
Whatever
better.
it is, just give me a specific one.
But
though.
give me something specific, because when I attack things, you know me, I come with a team. I come like I've brought her into so many business ventures.
Yep.
Me and her got so many different things maneuvering.
That's good shit, man.
Like that's what I do. Like the people that you see on Fly Day with me is the people that was with me when me and D, when Son of the 215 was D Bills and we was
Shout
on
out D
Philomena.
fucking Bills. That's
Absolutely.
my man. Shout
You see
out
what I'm
D
saying?
Bills.
Like,
Yes.
I bring
wrote
my
his bio
people with me.
when he was deep Bill.
That's
So
my
if I'm gonna bring my
fucking
people,
nigga.
then that means that I
Absolutely.
believe and I'm
Shout
buying
out to
into
Son of the
it.
215.
But that wasn't my baby.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I was just begging for a job, and we talked about it last night. And he was like, "Bro, I felt you." And he said, "What you say? I seen what you've done."
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, my direction wasn't necessarily this way, but I knew it was another move that had to be made that I
Absolutely.
hadn't made yet.
Right. Right.
That I hadn't made yet.
You feel it.
That I hadn't made yet. Sav knows I've been on Sav's staff before she had a magazine.
Sal got a magazine.
I
Talk
do.
about it.
So I have On the Scene magazine. So On the Scene magazine is a positive platform magazine. So we do. It's like what you were saying earlier, how we've been inundated with basically a lot of negativity or negativity in general.
Right.
So it's a positive platform lifestyle magazine. We do everything from education, entertainment, edutainment. No, that's my little line, but me and Kay do that. But no, so it's everything from education, entertainment, everything in between, but just from a positive perspective.
Right.
This is our merch because it's important that that the Black press is the voice of Black America, that we speak in our own perspective and our own voices from our own eyes. So yeah, onthescenemagazine.com.
Right. I fuck with it. If we shot down merch one time for my man Ox,
I saw that when you came in. I like
That's a
that.
good hoodie.
Can't be
I like
me.
the sleeve.
Yeah, it can't be
I was
me.
looking at all of that.
This is the moment in time hoodie. The Can't Be Me, Won't Be Us. My man Zane Ox. Check him out on Instagram and everything.
That's heavy. I
Yeah,
grab
I
one.
was looking at
Uptown
that.
too.
I
Yeah,
get
black
one.
business.
I'm a large. Let me know how much I owe you.
I definitely will. I definitely will put the word in, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so
Right.
that's why I'm already in tune with all of that, man. And I appreciate anybody doing that, and I fuck with all of
Absolutely.
that shit,
Yeah.
man.
But see, that's one of them things. Like, just like we've had those conversations early on when everybody was plotting. I was having them conversations with her on her side,
Right.
And I was telling her to make a play, and I was telling her as soon as she make a play, even if whatever she don't have, I'll figure out how to do it. I tell everybody the same thing because I mean that shit. Like I will literally take an online course or something, or talk to somebody I gotta talk to figure out how to figure this shit out for you.
Makes sense.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we got information if we want it. I go down a YouTube wormhole every night around midnight. Till 3.
What? I got wifey doing it now. I got wifey doing it now a little bit. You see this?
So
You
if
seen
it's
that?
something that I need to figure out,
Right.
I'm gonna get to figuring it out. So like that's something that we got to do. But see, it's another thing that there's another part of that because it's the other side to that. I see a lot of young artists, a lot of young entrepreneurs saying, I'm trying to start a movement, and niggas ain't moving, niggas ain't trying to like, they don't get it, or they ain't really riding like they supposed to. And I'm like, bro, you have to start moving first.
Right.
You have to move first. You have to give people something to do, something to attach themselves to. You can't even tell somebody as an artist, yo, if I put 5 people in your car, I give you gas money to get to the show.
And you know
but
what?
you want niggas with baby moms and records and all type of shit
Situations.
to shift shit around to be able to be available for you for 4 hours so you could perform for 15 minutes.
Right, and I think it's another. I think it's another side to that too, right? Because
you
can feel one way that somebody don't support you, but I also feel like everybody's not supposed to be on a journey either. So it's like it depends on what
and
they
give
place
them more
is.
shit to support and more ways to support.
Yeah, but again, but to another note, everybody's not meant to be along on your journey too. So you got to look at the bigger picture and your surroundings too.
But you never see that as a young
Nah.
artist and entrepreneur.
You don't. You never see it.
Because your homies is your family.
To piggyback off what y'all saying, and I'm a big advocate of this. I've been seen on Facebook, Instagram, everything saying this, and I really, really mean this. This is my philosophy. You don't have to take it on. But when you become an entrepreneur, when you become a creative, when you become whatever it is, I always say, leave your family and your friends alone. Leave them alone. And I say that for a couple of different reasons. For one, they've been with you this whole ride for your whole life, for every ride you've been with. It's you that has just changed and have become the entrepreneur and everything. It's a lot for them to take on.
They're on a whole nother journey with you already.
Right, already. They're going to sit there and support. They're going to do whatever it is you need to do. When shit's not going the way that you want it to go, the way that you plan, you cannot take your anger out. You cannot take your frustration out on the closest people to you. You cannot do that, because that is actually the people that you should be going to and taking a breath and sitting with and sorting shit out with.
Yeah.
So don't make us, because they'll do it. They'll do it too. If you say it enough, if you make them your consumers enough, then that's it's like you just said. Tell me what you want me to do. If you keep telling the people closest to you that you want them to be consumers, that's what they'll be.
That's what they'll be.
Right.
That'll become that.
Or you can use them for what they've always been, and that's that support system around you to just keep your chi, your center, your soul right. And that's where everything that you need, all the answers when you say all this shit out here is not going right and you got to look within, then the people who going to help you do it.
Right.
So I always say leave them alone. The niche of people that I have, the niche, whatever the word is, of people that I have that really fuck with me and support me, I do not know.
Right.
Personally.
But you shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
Because if it's only the people you know, then you ain't getting out and doing nothing.
But when I look at my algorithms, when I look at my analytics, I looked at
nigga, I'm in countries I don't even know.
Nick, it's a niche. I just told wifey last night. I said, "Yo, it's a pocket of people in Washington State that fuck with me. I'm trying to figure out who that is. Like, I don't need to know who it is.
But you know they got the extremely annoying, whatever it's called, like the super. You could super zoom into where that is exactly.
Right.
You can find out.
But he's talking about the degree of separation. He's trying to figure out how they got to him and how.
Right.
But the twist
You know what I
is,
mean? Like,
we got the technology to book that show now.
Right.
Because now we know. Before, the labels had that information.
And that's my shit.
And I was just saying
we didn't have that information.
Right.
They was getting it from. Remember when you used to go in the wall and they used to say, "What's your zip code?"
Right.
Booking shows is that's
when
what
you
I
bought a CD.
Right. Absolutely.
That was their analytics.
For sure. But I just said the same thing on the last pod though. I got reached out from somebody from Texas that wants to write for me that I don't even know who or how
don't
they
matter.
Right, but the reach. So it's just
your energy is that.
It's
like,
exciting.
You that.
It's exciting.
But what happens when you start?
that.
What happens when you start moving? Is
Right.
you do find
You
the
attract
people,
that energy.
You find the motherfuckers
They
from the
find
support
you.
side and from the team side that work.
But again, I gotta.
But at the same time, your homie want to be at your show, bro. Don't hold it against him because he can't make every joint. You gotta go do your thing regardless.
But the one thing that I am going to say, and I'm going to give attention back to her, even though y'all may not be able to see her, is people like Kay to give you this. So that's really important, because for me, when I jumped off the road and did it myself, like, I'm really doing it myself. Like, I really had to teach myself this mic shit, and that shit's not easy, man. Right. And I'm only at a level to where it's clear and you're not going to complain with me. I want to do more, but to have somebody who,
well, you got K. You got K now.
Man, I appreciate that. You
got K now.
But listen, man, but to have that is very, and I don't want to discount that, because a lot of people have these ideas. A lot of people can really put this thing forth. but it can't come through as clear as it is. It can't come through. The presentation of it is not what it is without people like that. And you have to give your hat and tip your hat off to these engineers, these button pushers.
Bro, she did
because that's
all
an
the
art in
production.
itself. That's
Did
not
all the-
just. That's not a. That's an art.
Her
It's
and
art.
Trayon did all the production for the Philly Hip Hop Awards this year, so it could be online. You see what I'm saying? One of the biggest things, you know what I mean, that the city got going for artists,
Let me turn it around.
and that's a font production. You see what I'm saying?
No, but for real.
Glocawear, one of the biggest movements in the area. A lot of the reason that we stay up on things and stay ahead of things most of the time is because of K. You see what I'm saying? Because of font productions.
The people who are the quiet assassins, the people who you never see on the mic, who you won't hear, but who really have 10 toes down and entrenched in what it is that needs to make that. Like that's the process that I've started falling in love with. The makings, the happenings, the production of things.
That feeds that animal that you voiding with the other shit right now. I know how your brain works, but at the same time, like you absolutely correct though. Like we on all our platforms, especially Fly Girl Friday and Paulie and the Gang and all of that. Like we have multiple platforms where they make it a issue. Not even like it's a thing. It's an issue to make sure that they get the behind the scenes people and let them speak and let them be heard and let them be seen. But one thing that you know about a lot of these people is they're behind the boards for a reason. That's their comfort zone.
Right.
So it's a blessing to get them in front of the motherfucker to talk about their thing. So you got to be a certain kind of people to even do that.
That's a fact.
But that's one of the things that we do. And another thing that I like is I surround myself with people that don't mind sharing information and resources.
Yep.
Because you being on this pod right now means that all of our resources together should have doubled.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Because now you got her pocket, you got hers, you got mine. And we share yours.
No, that's it. That's it. And another person I just want to shout out, because I'm Uptown Tone. I got to put up Uptown. And
talk heavy.
There's been a lot of shit.
Like
Black De Niro. Black
Absolutely.
De Niro was just saying that. He was just on my man Zay 1926 215. A Diary of a Podcast. Check it out. Follow, subscribe on Instagram because I really fuck with what my youngin' doing. But Black De Niro was just saying that.
Tag me in with him.
Black De Niro was just. I will.
With your young boy.
I will.
Yeah.
Black De Niro just said he was on there just giving his story, doing his thing because everybody know Black heavy. Black is on fucking Amazon and Netflix at this point. You know what I'm saying? And somebody actually asked him that. Somebody was like,
mind you,
Black,
that's a lane nobody knew Black was going to take, and he did his thing in it. So,
somebody said, Black, I just pull up and get it. He said, nah, it ain't no pull up and get enough in these days. And I'm not even trying to big dog a big step, but it's submission dates and what you see is what it is what I've worked to the level that I've get. But somebody also said on there, Black, if I try to, you know what I'm saying, can I ask you something? He's like, listen, I ain't never held my resources. And as somebody who just was on the outside looking in, who's somebody just from Uptown, because I don't know Black personally, even though we real close in just proximity of where we live.
You probably
like just in age, we just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know it's all love if I was to approach him or whatever, because that's just the kind of person he is.
Yeah, he's cool.
But I'm going to sing his praises anyway because I've seen what he's been doing since I've been 15, 36 now, about to be 37 this year.
But that show where your mentality at.
Right.
That show where your heart at.
Right. But
I respect that.
I said all that to say that Black said the same thing. He said, I've never hidden my resources. Anybody who's come to me and asked me anything and was really serious about what they was doing, I've opened up everything that I've known to them. And I be trying to do the same thing. Everything I've known along the way, and I'm not selling this shit to anybody. All I'm asking is just give me the most important thing that we got here is time. If you give me time, I'm going to compensate you fairly. If you give me time.
Well said.
Right.
I love that.
So
I love that.
What I was going to ask, because I was going to point out,
Yeah.
it was interesting because you just said it shows where your head was even when you were 15. And I was going to mention something. I was going to ask you about that way back earlier in the interview when you said that you're the type of person that writes a plan and kind of strategizes. And my question is, I'm always intrigued when I find young Black men with that thought process. Where did you get that from?
From fucking it up, not having a plan. From like he said, doing the running and the dumb shit. From having a registration with for a Pontiac 6000 and a celebrity in my fucking at 15.
With no fucking license.
Running behind people who I seen. Running behind people who wasn't really.
He had 4 cars in high school. E had 4 cars in high school. I remember we broke down on the turnpike one time, and I said, "You bought this car out?"
Right, but you could go get them. You could go get them for $50 at the auction. This is right before John, and this is why John Street and all that came up with the scofflaw and all that shit.
Because we was flipping the shit out of cars.
Like I was just thinking about.
I had the biggest packet. Shout out to Marty G's. Rest in peace to Bob Martin. Marty G's had the title joint in West Philly, and I was 16. Probably by the time I was 19, I had the biggest file in his insurance spot because I used to be flipping cars. Like I did all of that.
She used to pull up on me in a different car every week.
Capital
auction, carriage, all of that.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I know.
She used to pull up on me in a different big car every week. Like niggas used to be like, "Yo, that's your folks," and I used to be like, "Where?" And they'd be like, "There." And it used to be an Excursion, an Escalade, a Mercedes, a Monte Carlo, a motherfucking like she was pulling up in everything.
We had a car lot on the They had my big brother. Shout out Leak. Shout out my OG Hot Rod. They had on Louise Road, Walnut Lane. Though we had a car lot on the block to the point where the neighbors started calling the tow trucks and getting them Jones out of here. But when you getting them for $50 a pop for the squatters, and then you paying like $250, $300 for something nice,
right?
Because they taking these cars and they going on the auction like 2-3 days later.
Yep.
You don't even know what you might even find in these cars if you really dig in these joints.
Yeah.
It's stashed by... I might be... If the statute of limitations is up at this point, you know what I'm saying? Scofflaw is all... But whatever it is, that's just... Like I was just saying, that's just the life that we grow... Like, you don't know. You don't ask to be in it. You just stumble in it.
It be early, though.
Early
and that's the thing.
shit.
Like, I got a youngin'... shout out to JoJo. I used to call this nigga Joey Barbera. Joe had 9 cars in front of his mom crib, bro. Like, they had almost like the second to the corner house. And
they used to the corner and around the corner.
L-shape.
And I bet you Joey Barbera had 9 titles in his pocket too.
This nigga didn't have a license. His homies could drive whatever they wanted. He was flipping shit, and this nigga went to work at Wendy's across the street from the district every fucking day. And I respect the youngin' because it showed where his head was at. He had bread. He had more bread than his manager.
Right.
Probably his district manager. You see what I'm saying? As a youngin', this nigga went to work every night at a fast food restaurant, kept his head down.
How you supposed to do?
Like, it's different. So, like, and I'm giving up info now, but that's not even no real, there's not no drug shit involved in none of that. But it's like, you gotta understand,
just making a way shit,
you gotta understand the mentality that motherfuckers have when you too young to have a license.
Right.
Like, you're already flipping cars. You're not stealing cars and trying to chop them. You're flipping cars.
My brother showed me how to drive a car when I was 12. So what am I supposed to do if they say I can't do it till I'm 16? What am I supposed to do for these 4 years?
I was driving.
I lived on a block where they would give you they beeper and they car keys to borrow your bike to go bust a move. We used to be putting bikes in the back of pickup trucks and driving Aritas as kids. You see what I'm saying? I'm loading my homies up in the back with their bikes to go to Readers because I got the truck for the next fucking 35, 45 minutes.
You already know.
Like, niggas done bought me all kind of inner tubes that fuck my bikes up. You know what I mean? Like, all type of shit. Because niggas, they want to get low real quick, bust a move, or have some fun.
Shout out to the thorough OGs because I know they far few in between these days, but I feel like I had so many.
Man,
and I feel like I
lost all mine.
And as I'm looking at it and people looking at me, I'm not trying to accept it because we all want to stay young as we
right,
can.
Forever young.
I got these grades in here. I'm not. You mean?
Forever
I never dye them. I never hit the Beijing, but I am becoming the OG or young OG myself. So I am. We are those people.
Somebody OG.
But we are those people who are passing on the information, who are passing on that shit, who are pulling the youngins by their coattail and say, nah, don't do it this way, do it this way. Or, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to kick you some game. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's one of the speeches I give. Like, motherfuckers always kick that I'm not a role model or I ain't put myself in that position. If you live on a city street, there's a bunch of kids on your block that look up to you and think you the cool
motherfuckers I looked at who I got part of them in their game who never even knew I was looking at them. You are a role model, whether you want to be or not, whether you choose that position or not. I say that all the time.
I'm a culmination of a bunch of shit that I seen that I thought was cool.
Big facts.
And a lot of it, I'm blessed to say, comes from the men in my family. You see what I'm saying? Like, I could be compared to multiple uncles. I got the mentality of my grandfather.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
but at the same time, I've been around some motherfuckers that I obviously seen outside of the house too, that I like that too. And whether I recognize it or not, I could probably identify more who I stole basketball moves from. But I was older at that point.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I was older at that point. I knew which moves was already mine. And I think that's how life is.
And it's funny because before I knew you, that's where I knew your face from. Was from
Basketball.
hoop.
From ball.
From hoop. Because that's
Everybody
what
knew
we
me
all
from
did. That's what we all did. That's what we all did. It's just the path. But it's funny to hear, not even funny, it's interesting. Because I want to use different words.
Choose words wisely.
I want to use different words. It's interesting to see your peers, your brothers, different upbringings and their stories, their paths, their turns, to see how they are similar, how details may stray and be different, but we all was living like, it's like, damn, good. I wasn't, because in the moment, in the thick of things, you feel like you the only dumbass doing this shit.
Right.
And it's like, damn, man, because everybody, like you say, it's the presentation that you give to people ain't really, like you were saying earlier, people don't know I'm fucking, they don't hurt because it's the way I carry it. They don't know I'm something I'm saying. But I also will say to that point, and I've been wanting to say this all podcast just to get this point off, people only help those who can help themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you looking like you down on your luck, them the people that people really, and it's sad to say, step on even more, because it's like you know that they giving up their whole, like they really down. Not everybody, but and then certain when you see people,
I agree and understand it, but I also think on the flip side, when you not showing your emotion and people don't know you down, you can't expect for them to even.
Well, one thing that I
address anything that they don't know. You
a fact,
know what I'm saying?
One thing
you don't know what you don't know.
And one thing me and Saf always vibe with is Hove bars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hove said, "Don't let them see you frown, even smile when you down."
Right.
I floss on my off day. Fuck what they all say. Niggas can't stop me with rumors. I'm too strong all day. Socks exploding, sweatpants pockets bulging, holding it down on the corner on my block posing. Like at the end of the day, you the same. I probably flyer when I'm broke than I am when I got money.
I say that all the time.
When I
feel my worst,
I done bought all this shit anyway.
because you working at it every day.
not even. You know what? For me, when I feel my worst, I look my best because I got to put so much into it. When I'm feeling good, I feel like I ain't got to put all the energy. I'm already feeling good.
I love sweatsuits.
I'm feeling great, but when I'm down,
Yo, we just had a
into it.
conversation on COVID last night. We just recorded COVID last night, and my man Presco said, "I don't even want to leave. I only want to leave the crib unless I'm in sweats." And I'm like, "Yo, I agree. I've never in the last year, I've never left unless I'm in sweats."
I got an oath that when I get rich, my closet is gonna have suits and sweatsuits. Either we going somewhere or I'm going like this. Period. I just want to live without jeans for a little while and just see how it feels not to have that in between.
It's so funny you said it. This is the first time I had jeans.
You going
on
to the
forever.
bar or I'm getting in
I
like
don't
this.
ever wear jeans.
I put jeans on Christmas, and then after that, I was just like, nah. I was like, it was cool. I got my fit off on Christmas. You know what I mean? I got my fit off on Christmas,
Bro, it's April.
like a young bull.
This
That's
thing,
what
I
COVID
put
do
my
to you,
jeans
man.
on
Like,
Christmas.
I've been in the
That was
crib. I've
gangster.
been looking at the same shit for the last year now, man. The COVID anniversary was 3/13. What is it? 3/19 now.
320.
Yeah, we filming
3/20.
We filming this 320.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's funny though. He said I put on cheese for Christmas.
Right, jeans for Christmas, dog. I treated Christmas like it was a. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, listen,
I ain't gonna lie though, like, wear your shit.
we from that era though, and that's another conversation we were having. We from that era, man. And my man was saying that it ain't really nobody, but I got all this stuff. He real crazy sneakerhead, got everything.
Me too. I got a bunch of sneaks I can't wear.
Exactly. So y'all, I'm like, listen, I'm in the dad life, so I'm giving them the gems. I'm gonna give y'all the gems here on Sippin' with Sammie. Listen, y'all see me I'm getting my shit off now. This is the first time I wore these. I got my McQueens on, man.
Right.
Like,
I see.
I'm a dad. Like, you, when the sun's shining, you just gotta make it in the supermarket.
Right.
In Target, make the beeline to Starbucks. Why? Because when you ordered it, what they gotta do? They gotta call your name. That's your stage right there. You want to get your fit off right
love it.
there.
You hear that?
Hilarious,
Right
yo.
there.
I don't even go to Starbucks, but I'm about to now.
I'm fully immersed in the
Just
day. You
to
can
stop
catch
on
me
them
at your
rules.
local Giant, at Aldi.
No, I just gotta go somewhere they call my
Yo,
name.
the
Getting
Target,
all my shit off.
the
I got
Target-
shit too. I'm getting it all off.
the Target
You know
in
what I'm saying?
Cheltenham. Soon as that joint open, I told niggas like, yo, you gotta iron your t-shirt before you go in that joint.
Right.
You can go with the ball shorts on and the sock,
Right.
but you gotta iron your tee before you go in that joint.
Right.
Yo.
It's a stage.
I'm
No
look-
bullshit.
I play my clothes by the weather at this point. It ain't other people. I know I'm past the point where
I
people
know
is
that's
inviting me to situations. I'm not going to the day parties and none of
Well,
that.
you'll be at the 100th anniversary on March 27th. We filming. It'll come out in a few weeks. The 100th anniversary, 100th episode.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll be there with us next week.
I will.
Yeah.
I will make an appearance.
That's what we doing.
Yes, sir.
But no,
Sound like a plan.
I told you, man, the boy know how to pod.
Yeah.
you just been going.
Yeah.
But like that's what it
hard.
is.
Trying to.
It's about information, and like I had a time where I was FM, internet, and pod, and whatever else in between, trying to get on other people's platforms because I had a lot of blessings and invitations, but like it's a lot to do that all week.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. People think that you just talking. It's not just talking.
I got a 9 to 5, and I've been telling people. I've been telling my boys in the chat. I've been like, yo, for like the last 3 weeks, I've been really chalking my work because I got too much to do. I'm doing 3 pods. I gotta edit shit. I gotta put it out. I gotta make sure I'm the one getting the word out there, and shit is going because the phone. And not only that, the phone been ringing. People been reaching out. Sammie reached out.
Right.
It's a lot of people reaching out that's like, yo, we need to see what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Because I do what I do and I stay in my little niche. But when people come and they ask, I'm definitely going to be and make myself,
right.
You know what I mean, expendable because that's what I do. It's all about when the light shined on you, you got to learn how to shine it on others so that it's always on you, but it's just a light. Like,
right.
You know
I
what
like
mean?
cross branding and cross marketing.
Like, always. I love
it's
that
a 2-way
shit.
street and it's all fair.
But everybody got, aside from that, because I'm just a culture kid, whatever culture is. I'm just a kid who I know everybody grew up in a crib. Everybody grew up drinking 25-cent hugs. Everybody grew up with the 25-cent gum, 25-cent chips. Everybody grew up with the cartoons, cereal. Everybody grew up with the wrestling figures, Barbies. Everybody grew up with the Barbie rolling truck, or you had the Hot Wheels. My son and little son is in the Hot Wheels now.
Mine too.
We all grew up from these things through these stages, and it's just right now that we're in our greatest stage, like a manifestation of all of that. So I want to see how Sammie got his he got the cognac glasses because we adults now and we drink. So he's not gonna give me a toy car. You feel what I'm saying? I got a beer mug. You know what I'm saying? Like sipping with Sammie. Like this is what I do. I'm sitting talking on the microphone with the
great branding.
But this is all because we are the kids who have that shit has been guinea pigged on this whole time.
The whole time.
The 70s and all that shit. It was very few things, very few staples. Look, Heinz ketchup. That's what it is.
We're the generation where they jump from wooden fucking toys.
Right. You feel what I'm saying?
They marketed everything on us.
Everything on us.
That's true.
Gatorade was tested on us when we were born.
Right.
You really want to talk about it? That's what they gave
shit.
your mom when she popped you out in the hospital. That's
right.
It was only there.
So now that so like I just told y'all, now that I'm LLC'd up and I got that part and I'm comfortable with that, I want to get into the merchant. I'm looking at seeing what people is doing.
Right.
But you see, I got the Sam Dana.
Listen, you are
you
heavy.
got a nice little plug.
You heavy.
If you need it, we got a nice
we
little
gonna talk off air about all of that, man. But you heavy. People in this podcasting space is heavy. People in this media space is heavy. And I say all that to say this. I talked earlier about our resources and our institutions that we have, and we don't have many of them. And I see a lot of people here. I don't want to segue or I want to know what y'all think about, because I know y'all say y'all not hang on, but y'all revert a lot to Jay-Z lines. I revert a lot to Jay-Z lines too, but in my greater life, I'm kind of torn.
Talk to me.
So I look at Tidal as an institution, as a resource, as something that we could kind of use if kept in our hands just a little bit longer.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I understand how it was acquired, and this is not one of the, not to get my ultimate point off, this is not the greatest point, because it's not something that he built. It's not a Versus. But you know what I mean?
Right.
It's something he acquired, so I see what the play was even when he acquired.
Right.
But the way he kicked it to us, the way he always kicked things to us, and I think that's something that is important. I get it. And I know if given the chance, or if ever given a chance, if I sit down with Hov, I know we can kick it and we can chop up game, because we on that plane.
I'm sure you would understand if he explained it.
I feel like the one line I think about. Let me just get this one line off.
It's probably the line I'm thinking
is
of.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
That's why
Let me handle my business.
Damn.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
But no.
What line was you gonna think of?
That was the line that I actually typed in a conversation about that, because I do believe in that. But the thing is, he's on a bigger board now, and that still controls Tidal.
Bigger facts. Y'all speaking
he's
facts.
still in control of the situation, and by the end of the first week of March, we heard about 2 deals he was affiliated with that was reported to be over $500 million in 3 months, bro.
Got me in the.
And when it comes down to,
I know
when it comes down to
Grammy
ownership,
family.
how much other shit can you own with an extra 500 million and still having control
Ownership
over
and
more
control.
shit than you had control over before?
I'm gonna spit Hove lines. I'm gonna paraphrase because I'm not gonna spit them directly. But what he's saying, Grammy family hustle. They got me with some niggas I ain't never even heard of, and that was at a point where even in that whole freestyle where it was like he was coming into some realization where who he really was.
Right.
So I get it, and I say all that to say this.
And you a lyricist, so I know you could break all that shit.
all that shit down.
He's really is.
And even because, like I said, I'm torn between Hove, but as I'm getting older and as my mind even gets, as I'm doing what I'm doing, and I see how I'm getting on different planes, and what I understand is just that, like you said, he's a businessman. And I say that to revert it back to shit like SippinWitSammie. I say that shit to revert it back to shit like Uptown Worldwide.
Give me $100 million. You can have this shit, man, and I will start fucking.
We can do business. Let's say we can do business.
Listen. You can have the entire imprint for $100 million. You got $100 million. You can take all the logo, all that shit come with it. Trust me, I will be back on the next day.
Right. I know. You with the rebrand. Pandemic.
I got more ideas anyway.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying too.
That part.
But also, some of your ideas should be given or passed off into somebody who should keep the original.
Well, please
mission
believe
I understand that.
Please believe Blue has stock options.
Absolutely.
Talk to me, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Grammys and sippy cups right now.
That's a fact.
Like, we talking on a level that we can't even.
Grammys and sippy cups right now is
like
the most.
we talking on a level that we really can't fathom, bro.
Exactly.
There's 70 Grammys in that house, and the baby has one.
Right. And that's why the point that I was about to make was the SippinWitSammies, the Uptown Tone Worldwides, the everything that I'm talking about.
We gotta get there.
Exactly, to make so that we can get in a room with a hole, so that we can talk to, so that whatever it is, and that's what I realized when
you know what I could do for y'all if I could get that.
Yeah, and that's kind of at the point, and I'm starting to see it, and this is even a realization that I'm having as I'm even spitting it out my mouth at this moment. But with Hove, it's kind of like we're doing our thing, because a person like me, I'll have my whatever, I'll hop in the conversation, let's just say on Twitter, let's just say on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and I'll have my 2% opinion, which is like, nah, Hove should have did this, and everybody like, nah, man, he business.
You don't fight hard. You just say your thing.
But I'm also somebody who's actively doing something. Like I said, I expect my business to get bigger and better, so that I can ultimately sit in a room with Hove and say, I know how you've been doing it, but peep this kind of business. If we can kick, you know what I mean? We kind of got to take the shit in our hands. We kind of got to build those institutions as we got them to get it to the $100 million point to where you can give it away. Because I already know how you is. Right. You back on in 3 days.
So I want to
catch me on the first.
I got a commercial coming out 30 minutes after the announcement.
What DMX saying, Belly? wait till I show you this new shit. I bet you hop back on.
Right. I bet you hop on my right.
I already know.
But I want to say that kind of.
I already know. Like
that goes back to on the scene. I know you're not really familiar on the scene, but I'm a fourth generation.
I'm going to get familiar on the scene.
It's okay. No. What I want to say is it goes back to what he's saying about establishing that legacy and that brand. So I want to say is what I'm doing is that I'm a 4th generation editor and publisher. And what it goes is to what I'm saying is I was just thinking about, it's so funny, I was just in my dad's house yesterday, and on his wall he has him and James Brown. My dad, his whole platform for his magazine, for his newspaper, was a positive platform, innovators of the positive news format. And he helped the New Observer newspaper.
Bro, you grew up with that newspaper, bro.
I feel like I was in that joint one time.
Bro, she was on the staff when she was 6.
Yeah. I was literally.
That's the type of shit I'm trying to. Go ahead, Sam.
So I'm just saying. So what you're saying is that I'm just saying the same thing. Is that it's important for us to use our platforms to get to those levels.
But at the same time, her platform is called On the Scene Magazine. Nothing was lost in between.
Right.
Even when you hear
they
that,
can have the New Observer name.
I'm not gonna lie.
They can't have it. But like that could be what it was. She still this Blue Ivy right here, bro.
Right.
When I hear On the Scene, I feel right on. I feel word up. Like when I hear on, that's what I feel.
Right.
Already. Like, and I haven't looked at one page or seen anything, but I feel.
I'm gonna make sure you definitely get into
it. I gotta see that. I gotta see that.
But it's just important for us to make sure that, and that was our time, because it goes back to what you were saying about being an OG. I call myself a YG. Right?
Okay, let's get it.
But and we all the same age. We all the same age. But it's just important for us to again be charged with that responsibility and to use our platforms to make sure that we are educating and schooling people, especially like I don't blame you, I blame your old head. Remember that line? You know what I'm saying? So it's just important that we make sure that we take our stands, maintain our stands, same thing we were saying before early in the conversation, and make sure that we convey the messages and be the leaders that we should be.
Yeah, and that's all it is, because I for sure even though I have my gripes, you can catch me on anything talking about my gripes that I have with billionaires, big business, and capitalism in itself, because I just feel like.
But you're putting yourself out there.
I am.
So like, people gotta respect that part of it.
They have
like,
to.
I'm saying on record in the moment how I feel when you motherfuckers get the double dutch.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on record of saying all of that stuff, but I also want to be on record of saying that I understand. Like, I understand. My uncle told me one thing, and it's something that I live by. It's better to understand than to be understood. A lot of times, I'm not trying to be understood. I really want to push the envelope to see if somebody else. It's all about, like, even like Pac said, I hate to be quote, but I'm a living mural of things I seen.
I bait people. I be having a whole thought. I only put half of it out.
But if it's not me, I'm gonna spark the mind of the person that will.
Right.
And even if that's not the person that will, he gonna spark that's the thought process.
That's right.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Each one
you know
teach
what I mean?
one is.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And where that come from? Who? Right?
Nigga, I keep telling niggas there was a whole tournament in the league. Niggas had jerseys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, that's all. We've been born and bred in this shit. That's why I said shout out to our OGs.
Right.
We didn't even know.
Right.
When we was wearing them shirts, we just was worried about what number we had.
Right.
We wasn't worried about what was on the front of the jersey.
I knew because
Ivy Leaf.
Exactly.
I was about to say we knew from Ivy Leaf.
How about that?
You see what I'm saying? Like,
But that's why you're here now, full circle.
Being next to niggas and I'm like, no,
It's
that's
a greater
lit.
meaning to this, right?
And can't even explain to them why it's lit, but I know. And then I'm like, well, no, think about it this way. Like, we had somebody on the pod, Vu, and Vu said when he first heard Each One Teach One, he had his own interpretation of it. His interpretation of it wasn't wrong. It wasn't the original meaning, but it was on the lines of the same shit. We gonna get the same results,
Right.
Right.
So that's why
I think it was Tone that said that, right?
Tone.
What was it? He was sitting right here. What Vu?
It was
his name was either Tone or Ant.
It was probably Ant.
Ant, right.
It was probably Ant. My bad. No, it was Ant because Ant
Right.
actually has the Each One Teach One sneaker out. Actually, the Prestos.
Right.
Yeah, heavy. Like, my man being his Ant Live. My bad, bro. It was Ant Live. But shout out to Vu too. But the way it was like,
Shout
no,
out to
bro, you not wrong because you still gonna get the same result.
Yep.
Still gonna get the same result. When we have discourse, when we have difference of opinion on things, a lot of the times, at the end of the day, we still debating on some shit that we don't know about.
Right.
We're trying to learn.
That's go back to what that's the steel sharpen the steel. That's the forging of a sword. That's you don't know what it is. You just doing the work.
We just
said
said
doing the work.
Trying to learn, and that's why I like this being conversational and not interrogational. Like, but the part of the cross branding and the cross marketing of it is that while we are having these conversations, I definitely want everybody in my audience to know what you got going on and what you got happening, so that they can tap into that, subscribe, like, share, comment. And it's funny because people don't realize, and I know you run into this, we don't know who's, and you said this earlier, we don't know who's listening.
I don't.
Whether that's his music or his pods.
I don't.
If there's a number on the screen, you got about 8 people, maybe 20, that you know tune in regularly. A lot of times they tap in with you or whatever. And then you got a cloud of numbers that you don't know where they come from. So unless you comment, unless you like, unless you subscribe, we don't even know who's there.
Right.
So when we run into people and they be like, no, I watched the episode when y'all was doing this, it actually feels great because you know who tapped in and you know that they got something from it.
And tell us that we need to come to your city because we for sure will.
And you can dictate certain things. You can't run nobody's platform, but you could tell us what you love. You could tell us what you need more of. We could figure that out. You know what I mean? If there's somebody that we had on that you're interested in hearing more from, or
that's what we're here for.
That's what we want to do for those people.
Kanye dropped The Life of Pablo and was editing that shit the whole time that it was on DSPs. Like, unless you was listening to it regularly, you didn't hear the updates.
I heard it.
Treating that shit like a video game,
He changed the song, added 2 songs, and that was in the first 2 weeks.
I thought I was tripping.
Yeah, no. So
and I knew he said he was updating it, but I thought I was tripping.
Yeah, so in the same spirit, when you see these homegrown, when you see these from the mud, rags to riches stories like we are creating in the process of creating, when you see us, know that you can reach out to us, and we 9 times out of 10 gonna reach out back. Like, yo, good looking. Well, I was waiting for that.
When y'all comment.
For sure.
We might miss some, but we see most of it.
We see most of it.
Right.
We see most, and we appreciate it.
I took the words right out of my mouth.
And we appreciate it. But I mean, like, this is not just us talking at y'all. You know what I mean? And for sure, if it's anything that you bring valuable to the situation, we'll shout out your situation.
Absolutely.
If you see, there's a bunch of brands that's always represented in the background of my pod randomly. and I switch the table out. I do little different things. I change the books. I don't know. If you paying attention, you paying attention. If you're not, you're not. But at the same time, this is all family shit. There was a time where this hoodie was hanging right here. And then the next episode, I had it on sitting right there. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, this jersey used to be right there. And today it's on my back. Like, this is what we do.
That's what I'm about.
This is what we support. And it's not because it's my brand, her brand. I want your brand in the room.
We gonna get it.
You know what I mean? We put your post on the wall or whatever have you.
Right.
Because we support what you got going on. And I love the fact that I'm sure that you got into this shit the same way I did. And you went wholeheartedly into it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't who we was.
It's like you take it, but you take it from hoop. Like, we hoop all our lives, right?
I keep telling you all that.
So when you come, you might hoop, and then you take a little break, you come back, you just don't. You be trying to in your mind is because your mind always there. You be trying to be the player you was when you first, but you got to take it in steps. So I use that, and I don't disrespect any craft that I get in. I treat it like hoop. I can't just hop on these niggas' court.
How many times I said this shit?
I can't just hop.
Yeah, I do like basketball.
I can't hop on these. I can't hop on these niggas' court and just think I'm about to come out here and just like they been out here. This is what they do every day.
Right.
They gonna cook the shit out of me.
Right.
So I gotta do my due diligence. I gotta see what's what, how people doing it, how I'm gonna do it different, how I'm gonna get in the gym, when I'm gonna get in the gym.
Right.
And that's how you come to have 3 podcasts and people like that's. It ain't fly by night. Shit hard.
Respectable joints, like informative motherfuckers. Yeah. Entertaining. Like, it's a difference between just wanting to be heard and wanting to have a camera in your face and just pull on your hair every 5 seconds. And motherfucking really having something to say.
That's a fact.
And realizing that these 3 specific platforms that I have are completely different.
Yep.
Right.
Even though I'm the same person on them, I have different objectives, different agendas, different points to hit on each and every one.
And that's where most of my work is being a different entity in each one, bringing something different to each one. I try to pride myself on that. I try to every week I make dockets and notes for each one and be like, all right, make sure nothing is crossing, or if it is crossing, I'm giving a different opinion, or if I'm even if I am crossing, then if I'm crossing, this is the cross branding moment of the thing. I'm going to draw them to this podcast.
Right.
I'll say 2 sentences on this one, and I'll give them all of it on this one and draw them to here.
Right.
It's just certain things.
Again, like you said, you're a planner, you're a strategist.
Yeah,
too, so you got it all the way.
Certain things you got to think of, certain things you got to do, and then when you're doing it with other people, you getting them on the same page. And like, shout out to everybody who fucks with me, all of my joints, to Press Coast, to
I appreciate you.
Yeah, OGEs, to Kyle Santillian, who I got, Swiss Marvel, Cousin Cliff. Cousin Cliff is a big fucking staple. The councilman, I got the city councilman Isaiah Thomas, who's my best friend. Zeke, yeah, I already know.
That's our
Zeke is on it. Zeke is so busy. I gotta get him back on it to get his opinion.
That's my fault. In front of me, and I ain't even get to speak to him. I'm standing right behind him on the fucking news.
But that's another hoop. Like, that's my brother. Like, our kids and our families.
I was masked up and hood on and all.
His mom called me son, give me food when I walk through the crib, and vice versa. Like, my dad always like, what's up with Zeke? He hit Zeke up, and we all get our haircuts from his brother. Like, right. Shout out to C Thorn. You know what I mean?
Slide through Rubens, recipes to Rubens.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
man. I used to do Rubens on the hum, dog. On the hum. Rest in peace to Rubens.
That's an Uptown slide.
Absolutely.
No, but it's dope because that's one of the things that, like, before the Facebook age, you didn't know who all knew each other unless you was out and about and you seen where people was at. You know, you seen people out in public.
Right.
And it's crazy because association is a motherfucker. Yep. I could walk in the bar, speak to everybody in the bar, and then somebody will burn the bartender and shit, be like, well, he was with you. And I'm like, did you ever see me walk in this motherfucker with him, or did you see him talking to me?
Right. I gave everybody that. Everybody got dap in the hug. We ain't here drunk. Everybody
don't run no tab for nobody just because they shook my hand. I am uptown.
That part.
They just trying to recoup at the end of the night, man. They trying to do it however they can.
Listen, you know, I start tended for a long time. I already know.
Right.
I be like, yo, please.
But I'm also not giving you somebody else's case, because guess what? He catching that case, and I'm also getting my money.
But
it's ways if it's my money, because I've seen. I'm getting my money.
You're not leaving. You're not leaving.
Yeah.
Oh no! Shout out to Rubens. They'll chase you.
Yeah. Fucking right.
They would
and I ain't work at Rubens, but
shout out
to the star tenders, because it's bartenders and the star tenders.
You see, I said star tender.
Yeah, every bartender think they star tender.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I give it up to Saf, but
like, I was highly requested.
Unless you, but you also got to know the origins of what you speak, and I'm sure you do. We're not gonna get into that because we're not promoting that. But at the same time, Not saying we not from, you know what I mean. It's not.
No,
what it's
that's not
for.
the time. Listen,
But at the same time, like, there's a difference. Like, you could be cute behind a bar, and I'll pay the motherfucking fat motherfucker that know my drink when I sit down every night.
Right. Oh, what's
you
the
know
difference?
why? Because she on her job. You know what good bartending is? When
Know
I ain't
your
gotta
drink.
ask for a drink.
Know your drink.
When you see that my cup is
That's
low.
a fact.
Before I gotta say something, you asking me.
As a matter of fact.
And that's anything that works for tips. Anybody. Anywhere you work for tips, your job is to be ahead.
Your job is to be pleasant. Your job is to be
ahead.
No, have some manners, like some customer service.
Absolutely. Well, customer service is something that we only get in Chick-fil-A a lot of the times, but you know what?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A sets the standard. Like,
I still spend more where I appreciate because I'm old school.
right.
So it's just like, and that's something that.
But you know why I appreciate Chick-fil-A?
I had a joke earlier. I laughed at you, and I didn't get to say why I laughed. While you were saying what you were saying, and I want to explain it to the people if they even remember this point. But you had made a point. Oh, you did it. You were talking, but you was talking about loyalty, and he backed you up on the loyalty thing. And in the middle of him backing you up, I thought about the fact that I got a homie, shout out to Jeezy, that every time he sees 25-cent chips, he buys a bunch of them. Cause he don't want them to all go up to 35, 50.
No, that goes. No.
He trying to support him the same way she be trying to support y'all.
Right. Y'all.
But it also goes back to your statement saying we grew up on 25-cent chips.
No, we grew up on the same.
That's where that shit go
But
back to.
It's funny because like what does that give us? Common ground.
Right.
Just like hip
Shout out
hop.
to Jeezy.
Just like hip hop has been the biggest diffuser of anything in this world. Our culture has done more for human relations than any other one thing because we have something in common.
Yeah, man.
We have something in common. You can accept if an Asian boy walk up on you with a fly sweatsuit and his hat is tilted the right way and he approach you the right way, you know that he understands something that you know.
Right.
Now, he might not agree because we look the same and we don't agree.
Right.
I cut my head. Me and Tone could be motherfucking cousins.
Right.
Maybe. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
But at the same time, we don't agree.
We don't agree.
We have something in common. So you know what we could do? Yo, who your favorite MC? Yo, did you see the such and such and such and such? Did you hear the new such and such? And that's all we need. It's just like men at a baby shower. When y'all throw us in the basement, we put the game on and we talk about the fucking Giants.
We not talking about that.
I'm just gonna say.
Whatever, baby showers are not scheduled around Eagles games. Sometimes they are, which is tragic.
But guess what? My baby shower
What
was
I'm
dope.
saying is like whatever we watching on TV.
I just gotta
That's
say,
our common
I had a
thing.
co-ed joint. It was I had the bar set up for my men. Like, yo, they ain't know they was at a bar at a baby shower at all.
You gotta be
That's how our
careful.
joint was. We had a.
Gotta be careful.
My son was born in December. Our joint was the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so we had an indoor cookout.
That's dope.
That's heavy.
I had my man.
Y'all deep fried some shit or no?
No, he actually barbecued some ribs, some
Okay.
chicken, some
Okay.
sliders for me and everything. We
Oh,
had
that's
the
dope.
salads, the macaroni salad, seafood salad, all
I'm
that
hungry
cool shit
now.
that you would have. I'm
Pause.
hungry now.
I'm like, I'm hungry.
And then we had like a little basketball hoop in that joint.
Oh,
we
that's
had
dope.
Jenga, checkers, a bunch of
See,
games.
Yeah, that's how my joint was too. Yeah.
That's different.
And wifey don't it was zero baby games. Like wifey just on another, and that's why I fuck with her. That's why she
Yeah.
like me. But she
Salute
just-
to you.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
Because
no
that's
baby
why we
game.
wind up watching the
She was
Giants
like,
when
y'all better
nobody
dance,
cares
y'all
about
better
the
do electric
Giants.
slide. Y'all better do the cha-cha slide. Y'all better do all of
Yeah,
that.
I was
It's
doing
the
all
indoor
that, yes.
cookout. Don't worry about me. What I'm doing, just put the presents over there. We'll take pictures by the presents, and I'm gonna send
See,
thank you notes.
I had
That's
the
what we
best
did.
pregnancies. I was popping it with everybody. I was in
Yeah,
there
I don't need.
like,
Her whole thing was I don't need to be the center of attention here. I'm already
Right.
going through
That's
enough with
dope.
this baby in my
That's dope.
stomach. Like I just want y'all to have a good time.
Shout
Celebrate the
out-
moment. you know
Shout
what I
out to Bible from the squad.
mean? Courtney. I don't want to keep saying wifey. Shout out to Courtney, my baby Courtney.
Absolutely,
Aw, shout out
Courtney.
to Courtney.
But let that breathe because I don't want to step on Courtney. Shout
Right.
out. But
I appreciate it.
but no.
She
Shout
probably
out
do
to
too. Like,
Bible.
get it?
Shout out to my
Respect
man
that. Put that
Bible
respect on my
and
name.
his baby mom. When they had their beautiful daughter, they had the family baby shower. You know.
Then they had the squad joint.
Then we had the squad joint. The squad joint was so lit. And it wasn't even on no gangster shit. But it was just so fun. Like, we
Right.
all, and then, you got squad that bought 50 gifts. And, like, we play like how motherfuckers play.
Aw.
But it was like, we got to enjoy that night that we wouldn't have enjoyed the same way if we was at the one that grandmom and them was at.
The
Yeah.
funny shit is,
for that situation. You know what I mean? Everybody family different.
The funny shit is, I know Bible and shit. I spent a couple weekends down there with Bible because Dukes is big bro and shit.
Well, you know,
Like,
Dukes is family. I stay with
Exact-
Dukes
and-
half the time I go down there.
But just to make the full circle
Aw.
of just how we fuck with each
That's
other and how
dope.
shit is
Real
like this,
shit.
it's like shit in the universe set up shit how it's supposed to be.
Now,
Like,
shout out
it's-
to Bible for sure.
Yeah,
One of
shout
the
out to
most
Bible for
genuine
sure.
motherfuckers I know.
And I only
And shout
spent
out-
That's what's up.
minimal time with Bob, but all the times I had with Bob was
Always
great
fun.
time.
Always
it was
fun.
Not good times,
Always
great
fun.
times.
Bob
Every time
don't
I
trip.
seen his face, it was like, oh, we here.
Bro.
Oh, it's that time.
We
Oh, it's here.
we call him Bible because the joke was that he looked like a bobblehead. Every time you smiling at Bob, he like this. It's whatever, and he's a dope. First of all, he's a dope man. He's a dope father.
Thanks.
And he's a great friend.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him. That's what I'm saying. That's part of the squad. Like,
Yeah.
but like back to Dukes.
Big
When
bro.
I got out there,
Yeah.
Dukes never asked me if I had a license before he said take my car.
He
Like, you know what I mean? Like shit different around like people like
if it's a big bro that you like that you want that you
That's it.
it's Dukes like
No,
me
Dukes is fun.
me and Zeke like so my man Zeke shout out to
Zeke.
Zeke Pinkney.
my guy.
Everybody know Zeke because me and Zeke like freaking frack. Like that's my right hand man. That's really Dukes
You got
is
two
really-
close friends named Zeke.
Yeah, and that's funny as shit, right?
But Isaiah
and they know each other and got their own escapades that they do with each other. That's
Right.
some funny
Isaiah
shit too.
Pinkney
Like,
was one
right.
of the illest point guards in the city,
Facts.
and he was
So
short.
y'all all
at
play
that
ball
time,
too.
The
Okay.
biggest feet on
Facts.
the fucking court. He used to have feet bigger than the center, and he was playing the point.
we call him the Uzi. Zeke was nice.
Zeke
dog.
was nice.
Zeke was nice.
Real shit.
Zeke was nice. I don't
And
even want
Zeke
to say
pop out,
was,
but
'cause I
Zeke
feel like
pop out.
he is nice.
He
Yeah.
pop out there to see Dukes all the time. That's a guy, brother.
Exactly. So they really like this. That's really his big bro. So
Like,
I'm
that
ushered
uptown
in
Shit different.
Absolutely.
because me and Zeke is big brother. So like my big brother is Zeke's big brother.
brother, exactly.
Dukes is automatically my big brother because
Right.
Zeke is my brother.
Yeah.
So he treat me like he treats Zeke. Like we out
And
there and it's
happy birthday, Dukes. Your birthday was last week.
Happy birthday.
Dukes. But just I can tell you hundreds of stories about Dukes and how he just held it down. Like we go out there in Maryland and we don't have to worry about shit. To the point that he went and bought Guitar Hero dog, and for the jump we playing Guitar Hero, getting lit in the crib before that's the pregame.
Right.
Before we go out,
No, you don't understand. When my
crazy
squad-
trays of
like,
Remy, we didn't have to pay nothing.
What do you
Dukes-
think happens when I get off that
we
highway?
was way back at inauguration night before he was this Dukes that you see now doing what he was doing. Because I don't even think, and I don't even want to disrespect his name because I don't even know what he's doing in the promotion world. I know what he's doing now. 'Cause
No,
he's heavy.
he's upgraded.
He's
a
heavy.
lot, bro.
But back then on inauguration night, he had us with Mary J. Blige. We didn't pay for nothing. We didn't have nothing. So shout that's really big, bro.
No,
Shout out
Dukes
to-
move
So when I
around.
look on Instagram and everything, and I see Barstool with him, and I'm like, and then I see, but he was out there, and
you
he
don't
went to.
understand.
I don't understand, and I don't need to, because
Oh,
that's
no.
your. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, that's
But I
my
see
nigga.
how, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
it's like,
right.
yo, the universe definitely placed people where they supposed to be
Absolutely.
at the time that
And
it's
you know what's
supposed
funny?
Absolutely.
You from Uptown. I
Mhm.
played for Finley. He played for Simon.
to be. Exactly.
We was at each other's neck before
Exactly.
college.
Exactly.
But he went to Northeast.
He was the yeah.
Who the niggas that ran the football team? My god brothers from my block.
Right.
Fats and them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Aaron and Kyle is my god brothers.
Got you.
So like it was one of them things where like I went through it with a lot of people from the hood.
Just 'cause. That's just what it is.
usually was because of sports because we was
yeah.
kids. But what happened was
Usually
I
'cause of
found
sports.
out that we was all connected. So when I got to Morgan, Now was there, and I played AAU with Now. Now my nigga.
Right.
And Now introduced me to everybody on some bully shit, bro.
Right.
He like, this my nigga. He from the crib.
He's 6'9". How many niggas from the hood you know 6'9"?
But
Not
we
too many.
in Baltimore.
And that's me and Now, we in the same hood. I've always known Now. From the time I've been absolutely remembering people, it's been Now,
Well, let me
it's been
explain.
Zai, and it's been his little brother Ebo, who
And
really my man,
salute Bo. Love
Salute
Bo.
Bo, for sure.
But
my
no,
nigga.
let me explain Now to you from my perspective. We used to go to basketball games and tournaments, and everybody would have on a sweatsuit. Now used to have on a polo shirt, fresh Guessies, and fresh ass Timbs. 6'9", barely fitting in the back row, scuffing his Timbs up on the ride type shit. Talk about, yo, on the way back, I gotta buy my mom a book, fam. It's Mother's Day. Like that was Now.
That's Now, dog.
So when I got to college, he's bullying senior niggas because he on the team, but he's on injured reserve.
But he was
at the
big as
time.
shit, though,
He had
right?
the broken
It's just
foot.
Now, like, you
Maybe
gotta
he had
just
the
know
broken
Now,
foot right
like,
before
yeah.
he went and transferred
Right.
to Bowie.
Bowie
So
won everything.
so this nigga was like, yo, this my man. He from the crib. y'all going to the joint tonight? He riding with y'all. That's how he introduced me to niggas.
Shit. That's some
and
wild
mind
shit,
you,
though.
these niggas became to this day my niggas.
What you gonna say to a 6'9" nigga? But not even that.
But he
6'9",
wasn't
but he
even.
from-
And when I say he was
for
bullying them,
real though. Like,
when I
nah,
say he
for real,
feel
for
like
real,
it.
though.
when I say he was bullying them, it's not like they scared of him. It's like they fuck with Now so much
He-
that it's
he
like
that-
that
he
shit
him.
youngin.
Yeah.
Right.
We good.
He
They got
good.
in so much shit over us because Now said this my nigga from the crib.
Right.
But what I used to always say is, you know,
What school was that at?
Morgan State.
Oh, y'all was at school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice to meet y'all. Cool, good looking, yo. I'm holler at you. I don't need no ride though.
Right.
I'm gonna get on the shuttle bus with the squad, cause it's 20 of us, and everybody ain't got no ride. So I'm getting on the yellow bus to the club, like every other freshman that I came in this bitch with. You see what I'm saying? And that was me showing loyalty.
Right.
Cause I could have went with the seniors, the basketball team, the
Right.
football team, the motherfucking niggas that had all the bottles and the sections.
Facts.
Mind you, I wound up with my own bottle running around the club.
Cause you find yourself.
I wound up
right.
getting in the line without getting in the line. I wound up motherfucking in they sections.
Right.
I wound up getting the motherfucking fallout from they stardom.
Right.
But at the same time, I rolled in with my niggas. You see what I'm saying? And
I
that
see
meant
exactly
something
what
to
you're
me.
saying, right?
I was being recruited by all the promoters to be a promoter. And I was like, I'm with so many niggas, we can start our own situation. Nobody would ever understand that you asked me to be a part of yours.
Right.
Cause you already established.
They don't be.
It looked like I got down.
Why
Right.
they always look at you like you got 5 heads when you hit them with the "we could start our own"?
Bro, we could have started our own fraternity. All we needed was a name and
We
some
did.
focus.
Again, shout out to the councilman. Shout out to the councilman. We went to Penn State Abington. We didn't even have dorms and shit.
Yeah.
They got dorms now. We was pushing for that shit. Sign up. We was doing so much back
Bro,
then.
Let me tell you,
we got
I
the
used to cut
campus that
Central.
Morgan got now. We protested for that shit. I made the front page of the paper.
So hold up, the Pearl. We went to we did, the
Heavy.
Pearl Theater is at Brewer in Columbia because we voted for that shit. But hold up, I used to cut Central when I was in 9th grade,
Right.
and go and participate in classes at Ogant's campus, Penn State. Yo, that long ass joint.
Back
We
when it was
oh, your bro, you had to go up that long ass hill of the joint through the fucking trees.
You make,
Yeah.
Listen,
But you see what I'm saying?
I absolutely see exactly what you're saying because you got the mind that we got, that we had, that we was trying to see. So we was in there and they had the BSU. The Black Student Union was in there. But we just felt like the Black Student Union wasn't
When
doing what
doing
we
that-
needed to do.
right.
So we started CLEP, Creative Life Enrichment, whatever it was.
Program?
Some shit like that. And our shit was
A
the real
partnership?
BSU. Partnership. It was some shit, whatever it was, whatever the P was. I can't remember. That shit was like 10, 15 years
P
ago. at
that
this point.
makes
I'm gonna
sense.
tell you how
Yeah.
simple. I'm gonna tell you how simple it is. There's a organization, a non-Greek organization on Morgan's campus called TTC, right?
Mhm.
It stands for talented. It stands for tenacious, talented, and capable.
Okay.
It started out as the Timmy Tim crew
Timmy Tim.
because them niggas all wore Tims.
Right.
Like that's how simple it is.
But let me tell you. But hold up. Shout out to technology, right?
But
because
that's where. But hold on, I gotta say this.
All right,
That's
so I gotta
where
plug
know your
something.
place in the struggle comes from. I learned
Right.
that from them. Go
No, but I just want to plug On the Scene magazine because we have an article about there is an online fraternity now for people who go to school online. There's now sisters that created a fraternity, sorority.
Sorority, right?
Sorority for sisters who are doing online education. So
Dope.
shout out to that. Go to onthescenemagazine.com. You can check that article
That's
out.
dope.
But
I
we
like
making
that.
things happen. So I just want to say shout out
The
to
world
again.
is changing, and you right on it. Cause I didn't even think about that. That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
But we gotta get the fuck out of here, man. We've been having a ball.
I
We gotta go
appreciate
check
y'all,
out
man.
CEO Rowe, man. He
We
having a show
do.
tonight. We gonna go support, smoke something, enjoy ourselves. It's a comedy / spoken word pub.
I'm excited.
I gotta
can't wait.
get more active as they open us up more, and I can get more because I got a family now. If I always think to myself, man, if I was single, I'd be out here moving.
But you already
you
said it.
can
You
get-
said strategy. It was planning. You just
already
gotta
know.
plan it out.
You
That's
already
all.
know.
If you can get a couple hours to be in some of the rooms that I be in, I'll make sure you.
I'm
touch
gonna make a couple
everybody.
hours. I'm gonna
I'll
make a
make
couple
sure
hours.
you touch everybody in the room you need to touch before you get out the room.
My man, that's all I need. That's all I need.
Starting
I
with
appreciate it.
starting with our 100th episode.
Yes,
Slide.
I'm going to slide to that.
Seriously.
for sure.
I think there would be some great perspectives for you. I think that would be a great place for you.
I'm going to
for
try my
sure.
best to slide to that because I always speak so fast and I don't know what the agenda is because like I said, I'm in the family atmosphere and wifey always got some shit going on.
Listen,
I'm
you
going
ain't
to make
the
my
only
best
one.
effort to slide to that shit.
You
though.
have
Well,
to.
we 1 to
Make it happen.
5. It's daytime on a Saturday.
Oh, 1 to 5? Oh, I
1
can
to
definitely
5.
try to. I can slide a
It's not
face.
even no nighttime shit.
Yeah, I can slide a face.
Right,
there.
family
1 to 5,
time, see?
Yeah, I can slide
We
a
can
face.
do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we gonna have a good time. We gonna show appreciation to the people that was on the first 100 episodes, and now
That includes you.
see what I'm saying?
Big stepper. I appreciate my man.
Big stuff. Big
I
stuffer.
appreciate Sav. Y'all can't see her, but
Absolutely.
I appreciate Kay because I know we gonna come through crispy clean.
Everybody know about Kay. We wouldn't be here in this capacity without Kay. She the one to make y'all see
And
us.
she get your business right. LLC.
Yeah, give her Kay, give her Fine Productions to get your business right.
LLCs.
Let's get it.
You're publishing all that shit. She
But
get
yeah,
right for you.
I got what I wanted, man. I got my mug. I got a little cognac glass. You know what I'm saying?
Ow. I see you, bro. See you.
This is extra. The maker's mark is extra. Y'all put that in the fridge. I got a little Victory Sour Monkey. Shout out to them because they
I got a
local.
beer fridge right there. So
Yeah, you put all that in there, man. That's
we
all
good.
you, man. You put all that Sour Monkey.
let them know
in
where they
there.
can find you and follow you and see you 4 times a week at.
For sure. Uptown Tone on everything. Just on the regular, on the humbug. You can catch me Uptown Tone on Instagram, Uptown
He
Tone
is
on Twitter.
Uptown, though.
I am
niggas-
Uptown.
A lot of people put that in front of their name.
No, I am Uptown.
This
I'm
Uptown.
for real. And it's even funny because I keep shouting out my man Zay926 because it's fresh, it's new, it's something new he's having.
I think I follow Zay.
And it's conversations that we've been having that's untold. Like if you ever, not to keep it going and shit, I'm gonna keep it real
Nah, you
short.
good.
The conversation, like if you look at Netflix and you look at all this shit, I know how Harlem came to be. I know how Queensbridge came to be. I know how
Right.
Nori is from Left Rack and all that shit. Zay is kind of taking that step out there to put the Uptown story out there for
Say
everybody
that.
who's put on for Uptown, and it's really short. It's a diary of a podcast on YouTube. It's a diary of a podcast. It's in its infant stages. He's trying to get it started. I'm actually trying to help him get a hand in there,
I told
trying
you
to get him
plug
started
in
with
with
that shit. I'm gonna definitely plug him in with you
Yeah.
so he can see everybody he need. I'm for sure gonna do that. But I carry it for Uptown Crazy, man. But other than that, you can find me on Uptown Tone. You can find me on COVID Chronicles Pod on Instagram. You can find me on 444 Podcast on Instagram. Like I said, the new 444 Podcast is out right now on all streaming platforms. The YouTube premiere for the visual is going to be out between 8 and 10 at night. I'm trying to get it done, man. I'm moving,
By
I'm
the time
working.
this come out, it'll be
It's
out.
gonna be there.
It's
Don't
gonna
worry
be
about
out. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be out.
Mhm.
But the audio is out right now. All streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, whatever you listen to your podcast on, it's on there for sure.
Word.
444 Podcast. COVID Chronicles too. We just dropped a new episode last week. New one coming on Monday. But that's where you can find me, man. Uptown Tone. I'm hanging out. Instagram always. Twitter always. Facebook. I'm Tone Stewart. That's kind of me. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom and dad and my aunts and uncles is on there. I kind of keep it. You know what
Got a lot
I'm
of
saying?
family.
That
on my
family.
Got a lot of family on
People
there. but-
wouldn't even think I do, but I do.
it. Right.
But y'all
Me
know
too.
me. It's either Uptown Tone or it's Tone Stewart. I don't veer away from who I am. You know
Right.
what I'm saying Barstool know who
You've been
I
saying
am.
that from the beginning of the interview.
I know him from taking road trips, and when we gotta stop, he go and get beer, and I gotta get roll ups, dog. Like
Nah,
that's
real
just
shit.
yeah, real shit. I
Real
seen him come with
shit.
some magic trick, with a six-pack of magic trick. We going to the booth all day, and that's what it is. We here, man.
Right.
Damn,
Right.
had Magic hat back then.
Yeah,
Wow.
Damn, he know me.
I know he.
I remember
know
those
me, bro.
days. I remember
And that's
those
the
days.
thing. When you don't, it's just when you run. Like when you run these streets, you run these streets, and that could be anything. That could be drug. That could be whatever,
Whatever
you
it
say.
is.
Yeah,
When
our
you
shit wasn't even
outside,
drugs.
and that's what I like that word a lot better. When you outside, you the fuck outside.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely know. I've been outside.
And I ran into my nigga. We had some
Absolutely.
great times.
I feel
Remember
like
when
once you on the black market, you in the black market.
Remember when the joint next to Tobacco Town on Shortham Ave? That was a bar,
Yeah,
and we was rolling in that
tearing
joint,
that
yeah.
shit up upstairs.
Yeah, we
Right.
was.
Upstairs. Bro, I had to get drove home from there one night.
Nigga drove home. I had my worst night ever after that I would
Oh.
never speak of. But that's
Wow.
what that's the
Nah,
the level
I'm
we
with
took
you.
it to.
I'm with you.
Wow.
we was always, and we just the
I'm
fact
with
that
you.
it's consistency and it's perseverance. And when I see Sippin with Sammie, when I see Barstool Rude, when I see you doing your thing, when I see Uptown Tone, when I see fucking Uptown Worldwide, when I see all of these shit, it's just what
I
it is.
Nerd.
I nerd, big up to I nerd. Like I said, I was just
Chasing
down around the
checks.
corner, chasing checks, whatever it is. Son of the 215, everybody that we
Yeah.
put out here. This is all Uptown staples, man.
It's
And whenever
organic.
platform I get on, I'm gonna end it like this. I'm here for Uptown. I am Uptown. Ever since the party when we was at motherfucking what's the joint up I forgot what it is.
Which one?
Where?
Platinum Grill.
Ah.
Ever since we tore Platinum Grill up into 2008, 2009,
Wow.
I am Uptown. You know who I am. You know who I roll with. Let's get it. We going into the future, man. Sav, I appreciate you.
Likewise. Right back at you.
Sam, I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Kay, I
you.
appreciate you. Hey
That's what
man,
it
y'all know
is,
what
man.
y'all know what hit me at.
See
Let's
why
get
we
it.
had Tone up here, man.
Absolutely.
All the sisters in the world don't make
Good
it.
time. Definitely was a good time. Absolutely. So you already know I am your girl, Sai, aka Sunny Brick. You can check me on thescenemagazine.com for everything from your positive platform, from education, entertainment, edutainment. Holla at your girl on thescenemagazine.com. We just dropped some new releases, some new articles, some positivity for you. Holla at me on thescenemagazine.com. Got you.
That's what it is, man. And we'll catch y'all every Thursday, 4 p.m. You know we love happy hour. So you can also catch me on Fly Day the next day. You know, I'm Steezel. We start at 3 p.m. all the way to 6 p.m., which means
them
we
fly
start
girls.
with them fly girls from 3 to 4.
We in the building. Chick with the juice, Polly, baby. Don't forget that fucking baby.
You know what I mean? K in there
And my girl,
too.
you already know. I was
You
just about to say,
already-
my girl K be in the building. Yo.
Salute to my fly girls, and then we pick up at 4 to 6, and we keep the fly girls around mostly, man. It's a vibe. Best happy hour in the world on the greatest station in the nation, Flyboy Friday Radio on glocawear motherfucking radio, man. That's what we do. Check us out there. That's on YouTube. That's on the app. You could download the app, or you can check out the website at glocawear.com. We got a lot more coming up for you, and I think that y'all really got to tune into that 100th episode. We're going to have a fucking ball.
Listen.
But I have been and always will be sipping with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Get your fucking life together. And continue to do fly shit only. We out this bitch like a newborn.
Yeah. I swear. I ain't really in for the nonsense. Last words on your conscience. Triple double, then I spin. Let you niggas eat, ain't blocking. Aim to remain in the top 10. And y'all won't stop them. What's good, what's poppin'? What's cat, what's nothing? Cause I ain't got time to waste. Got way too many options. Can't get time from me if you throw off my process. No comp, no contest. Fly guy versus a hot mess. So you can try till you die. Still a lame nigga in the casket. Shit flame to my last breath. Already told you no misses. I'm out here handling business. I'm out here slamming your misses. Have it back for you miss it. I jump back when you kiss it. That shit boo, you have missed it. I appreciate her assistance.
I get fried off pounds of haste. So far gone, I'm miles away. Money long is mine to waste. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today. I get fried off pounds of haste. So far gone, I'm miles away. Money long is mine to waste. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today.
Know when I'm floating, I'm smoking. When I'm smoking, I'm smoking. When I'm drinking, I'm smoking. Smoking out in the open. It's your man Sammie backward. Graduated to cognac. Touring, ain't going back. Book bag be the foreign pack. Educated and medicated. Work heavy, I'm dedicated. Took losses and never faded. So on the calm, I already made it. Hold on, I already made it. Oh shit, we already made it. We leveled up, this is celebration. We leveled